Welcome to the 7th episode, right? of the Trackside Girls podcast.
SVG this weekend is going to be, I think for this weekend, he's going to be running the trucks. SVG is going to be racing at IRB for Niche.
Niche.
Nice. My bad. I say stuff different. Oh, and Corey has signed a multi-year extension with Spire Motorsports.
I feel like he's kind of building that program up. They obviously have a lot faster cars since they started. Corey's not necessarily a bad driver. I think Spire is on the right track. Alright, this is probably going to be the main topic. Legacy Motor Club and Noah Gragson. Okay, let's take out the fact of what he liked. Okay? Let's set that aside because that's a problem in itself. Okay? This was from months ago.
Before the season even started.
And they just now decided to, I don't know, I guess somebody must have seen it and brought it to Legacy's attention, but this was half a season ago, and, I don't know, it's hard to, because the context is something in itself, but it's just the fact that somebody had to have, dug that up, or had to have seen it and posted it somewhere for Legacy to see it.
But I think the only question is why now? They're already halfway through the season, so why now?
Exactly, it's from months ago.
Yeah.
So
why now? Why now bring it up to everybody's attention that he liked it? It doesn't make sense.
So there's a lot of rumors that we have no idea if they're confirmed because there's so many people saying so many different things. But there was something that claimed Noah and Legacy have separated and parted ways. But then there is somebody else saying, no, that's not true. Legacy said that's not true. To be fair, they said that he was suspended indefinitely. So...
Well, I've also seen now that somebody, I guess, had emailed Legacy, and Legacy responded back to them saying that, no, they haven't kicked Noah off the team. He's not going to get kicked off. That he is going to sensitive training now to resolve this entire thing, I guess. But I don't know. Somebody said that they emailed Legacy, and they had, the email from Legacy saying that they didn't kick Noah off the team and that he's going to sensitive training now.
So he kind of has to do what Kyle Larson did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which that was going to be wrong if they didn't let him do that and if they were just going to suspend him.
Yeah. They immediately just kicked Kyle Larson, but for him to be able to come back, he had to do that.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So I feel like that's the right call, just to, as an immediate response, suspend him, make him do this sensitivity training or however you call it. And from the tweet that he made, he knows that he made a mistake, so he's definitely on the path of moving forward from that. I don't really know what else to... It's just a weird thing in itself.
I didn't even think it was true at first, because I thought it was a fake, Legacy account, tweeting that, and then Noah, quoted the tweet, and I'm like, what even happened? What the heck? And then somebody had posted it, and I was like, oh. And I'm like, who cares? It was... I don't even know. It's stupid, honestly. It's just confusing of why now it's brought up when they're already halfway through this season. That just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, That's what I'm saying. Like, it probably wasn't even noticed until now. So that's why somebody's got to make a big deal about it. Like, I understand. I mean, the person who made that shouldn't have made it anyway. To begin with.
Yeah, and my question is, who was even looking at that in the first place? And did they even look to see how many other celebrities probably liked it?
Like there was at least 77,000 more people who liked that post. So it's hard to justify singling out somebody else, you know?
One single person. Like, did you even look at the likes? There's probably like other celebrities in there who probably liked it, but you want to single out one person just because he's a NASCAR driver and basically probably almost ruin his life. Then that's fine.
Yeah. It's like
Noah's
a good kid.
I know.
Like, he's one of the nicest people ever.
Super sweet. That he'll like literally just stand there and talk to you.
Yeah. It's an unfortunate situation.
Yeah, it does.
So, on to the weekend, the race weekend. The Xfinity and Cup raced at Michigan. I kept calling Road America Michigan last week, but like you guys didn't see it because I edited it out. So fun fact. So for Xfinity, Josh Berry got pole, and our boy Carson did a really good job during qualifying. Qualified 7th. Unfortunately, he got caught up in a wreck. Was it Lakota that had some strong feelings about that about that wreck?
It's always me. I'm one that has the strong feelings every time.
Basically all of the JGR cars took each other out, and Carson got caught in the crossfire.
I will say that they're not very good teammates with each other. They don't know how to communicate very well. They like to take each other out, essentially. Mostly just one person likes to take them out.
The Xfinity race, that was really the big one, right?
Yeah, because they didn't really have that many accidents, I feel like, besides that big one. Did they? Did they have more? I don't even know. How many cautions did they actually end up having? I think all the other ones were like small ones. And then, Joe Gibbs Racing. kind of terrible to each other. One certain person has to take everybody out, but it's fine.
I think there was more cautions in that.
Was there? I don't remember. I'm gonna be honest.
Either way, who won the Xfinity race?
The person I despise the most, John Hunter Nemechek. Do you not remember?
Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah, I didn't watch it, but I'm pretty sure
I wish
you were.
I really wish I didn't watch it because it was boring.
Yeah.
The last 20 laps.
Yeah, you were in the group chat, kind of. Oh, you did say something in the group chat. Oh, Yep. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
I'm mean, but I don't care.
But that was the Xfinity race. Then the Cup race had to be split up into 2 days, because they didn't make it halfway before the rain made them stop the race on Sunday.
Nature.
Yeah, it's not a NASCAR weekend if there isn't rain at this point.
Wait, I have a statement. They were crying because Noah wasn't there.
That came out right before qualifying.
Mm-hmm.
Early Saturday.
It was crying because Noah wasn't in the race.
Christopher Bell got pole. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
I had him as one of my picks, and then he got taken out. But he rode around the track longer than Chase Elliott, so I got more points for Christopher Bell. So I had Chase Elliott, and then he had that problem and was taken out, couldn't continue, and so I had to switch him out for the driver in my garage. And then Christopher Bell, who was in my picks, got taken out too, and I'm like, all right, well, he's getting more points than Chase is right now, so.
I know, because I texted and you were like, don't tell me that because
That-
Christopher Bell's my picks. I'm like, yeah, well, he's in sad shape right now.
Yep. I was like, don't tell me that.
At this point, Chase is like in a must-need win situation to
Yes.
get in. He cannot get in by point.
There's 2 road courses and then what?
Daytona.
Whatever races after the 2 road courses.
Daytona.
Daytona's the last one.
That's a wild card.
Daytona sucks.
Like,
because it's too chaotic.
Yeah. I feel like there's quite a few people who could win Daytona.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a few people who could win Indy. And like
The next 3 races are going to be a fight for your life.
Yes. I agree.
I mean, they already are, but also I feel like every driver is a lot more aggressive this year for the playoffs than they were last year.
Mm-hmm.
Because at this point, they don't even care who they're wrecking out anymore.
Yeah. So, if Chase Elliott does not make the playoffs, this will be the first time ever since he's been in the Cup Series that he has missed being in the 16.
Which, that'll be crazy if it is.
Uh-huh. So, he's like, I want to say 40 points down after last race.
Yeah.
So he's either he has to have a race win to seal it, or he has to win probably all of the next stages in the next 2 or 3 races.
Yeah.
Chase in standings, in the playoff standings, he's 22, 22nd, and he's 55 points out.
Ooh, so he was more after that wreck.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was making his way up there, and then after that accident happened, that's when he dropped.
Yes.
But the last time I saw, he was 40 down, so I didn't actually know how many points he was down from now, I guess.
But now Ty Gibbs is now 16th in standings, and he's only 3 above.
So they had to split up the Cup race. And they finished the second half on Monday. And there were a lot of cautions. But Chris Buescher did the same thing that Kevin Harvick did last year. And at Richmond and Michigan. So he's definitely secured his spot. Obviously last week he won, so he got himself into the playoffs, but he boosted that and got himself up higher with playoff points. That race was wild. They had to do another fill the time slot on interviews and stuff. And Saturday night, Austin Cindric and Harrison Burton were playing Wii Sports in Austin's Airstream. I'm pretty sure Harrison completely destroyed Austin.
You know what? Wii Sports is my favorite to play, and I could crush both of them.
I could too. There's no doubt about that.
So we should just all gang up on them and beat them at Wii Sports.
Yes. We'll do...
They would probably cry. I'm not gonna lie.
We'll do a tournament. We'll
Yes, please.
yes, and then get
Do it.
Todd in there, and then it's us three against them three.
Heck
Yes.
yeah. We'll kick their butts. We'll
Yes.
kick their butts.
Yes. But they were playing Wii Sports, and in the interview, Harrison and Austin were with two different interviewers. With like Harrison was with Parker, and then Austin was with Kim Kuhn, and they were just going back and forth in the interview.
It was
And
hilarious.
it was very funny. So that was Sunday, and then Sunday night they brought in Todd Gilliland to join in on the games, and didn't Todd beat both of them?
Todd failed at golf.
Yes, yep, he did. I'm pretty sure he can play well, like actual golf, but Wii golf is not his strong suit.
I can play Wii golf better than I can play real golf, and I played real golf for 2 years for high school. So
So those were the shenanigans that they were up to for the rain delay.
those were probably my favorite interviews ever this year. They were hilarious. They were just
Yes.
going back and forth.
And then there were a lot of drivers that kept picking on Parker because he would have the longest interviews with drivers. Because I guess Parker just knows how to fill time during during rain delays.
You know what? Everybody's hating on the bestie Parker, but
Also Parker's birthday today.
On the day we're filming this.
Yep.
We're filming this on the 8th, by the way. If you guys don't know Parker's birthday. But yeah, so that was the weekend events. During the weekend, Martin Truex Jr. Confirmed he will be staying at Joe Gibbs Racing.
Mm-hmm.
So he is not retiring.
I gotta say that's a little surprising, but at the same time I get it because he doesn't want to leave yet.
Yeah.
Because after he's been winning all these races now.
Yeah.
He's winning them all day. I thought we were gonna have another Martin Monday.
I honestly thought we were too. I'm not gonna lie.
Getting close to the end there, I thought it was gonna be another Martin Monday.
Okay, I do have to say, I feel like this year for like this season, there's been so many like repeat winners.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, that's getting kind of annoying. But at the same time, it's like, I don't even know. I guess if you get a new winner, it'll screw up the playoffs. So I want to say it's almost better getting like a same person winner that's already won, because they don't really mess with the playoffs that much. But at the same time, I don't know what this season is anymore. So
yeah, you don't have those wild cards that can come from like 31st in points and get into the playoffs.
Yeah, whereas last year there was like the 16 different winners and 16 different races, and this year it's like same winner like every other week.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
This season be wild, man.
So, IndyCar, they raced on the streets of Nashville. Scott McLaughlin got pole. Kyle Kirkwood fended off Scotty Mack and won on the streets of Nashville. I believe this is his second career win, and this is also his second year in IndyCar, if I remember correctly. So, as much as I wanted Scott McLaughlin to win, Kyle Kirkwood brought it home. And another thing, that's IndyCar related, I always use this to kind of segue into the two different. You guys know how much I love Lissy McIntosh. Lissy was on an episode of Screaming Mills and had mentioned saying that she was for sure going to Nashville for the IndyCar race. So this has been months in advance. Like, she's like, yeah, no, I'm going. It's during F1 break. I can go. And she was. She was in Nashville with none other than Marcus Armstrong, the boy. They were on the IndyCar broadcast again.
I saw
And,
the
yep. And Marcus was holding an umbrella. And he saw the camera in front of them. And he, like, dips the umbrella down in front of them so the camera can't see them. And then all you see is just Lissy, like, bend over laughing at him. Because I feel like at this point she's just like, yeah, okay, everybody knows. Like, we're not. If you're smart, you've seen all of the stuff that you've seen us together at IndyCar races. If you were like me and caught on to the Tulum, Mexico thing, like, it. Like, we know, okay? We know. But on top of Lissy being there with Marcus, also James was there with Marcus, our favorite IndyCar wag. we call him that. We call him that. It's Marcus's agent, I guess you could say. James does a lot for Marcus, but he is also on Screaming Meals, and he's very funny. Um, so we got content on TikTok, from James. And I'm pretty sure he calls himself, he's like, I think he did say that he's like the life of an IndyCar wag. And he called himself that. So, that was funny. Oh my gosh, I forgot something on NASCAR. Eric Jones got married during the week.
in the middle of the week. He got married on a Wednesday.
Yes. Well, it's the middle of the season. You can't, like.
Okay.
And he
you
didn't.
Know what? I'll give him that.
He didn't want to wait until. Yeah, he didn't want to wait until the end of the season.
That's true. Okay, whatever. I take back what I said.
Anyway, okay. On to Formula One. Obviously, there wasn't a race, but I'm gonna fill you guys in on a little bit of what some of the drivers have been doing on their break. Valtteri Bottas came to Colorado in the U.S. I'm not sure. So he expanded his gin company called Oath. I'm not sure if Colorado was where he expanded to, but he was in Colorado for quite a while.
Maybe he did.
Yeah, so it could, like, I just know that he expanded it, but I'm not exactly where to. He was having a fun time out in Colorado, and he's a very outdoorsy person. He loves biking. Colorado fits, like hiking and, you know. Lance Stroll was out on a lake, surfing in the wake, taking some pointers from our boy Alex Bowman.
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago. They probably have no idea who each other are. Or okay, to be fair, I would like to think that Alex Bowman knows of Formula One drivers, but Lance Stroll, I don't think he's the type to know NASCAR drivers.
I would like to think that all of NASCAR knows what Formula One is, especially since sometimes Riley's name pops up that he's like some of their posts.
Yes, he likes Formula One stuff before I do, and that's saying something.
Anytime I'm scrolling, I'm like, oh, well, Riley already liked this. Like, when Lando posted when he got his second podium, Riley's name was, like, the first one, and I'm like...
Yeah.
I'm like, he just posted it. Do you have his post notifications on? Because if you do, props to you, man. I guess.
Lando and his best friend Max Futrell went to the MotoGP British Grand Prix at Silverstone. There's a lot of content from that. I'm so happy. Like, I love Max Futrell, okay? Like, honestly, I think I probably love him about almost as much as Lando, okay? We love Max Futrell. We stand Max Futrell.
He's
Um,
hilarious.
yes. He's very funny. And then Oscar Piastri was also at MotoGP, but they weren't together. Like, Oscar and Lando were not, or I mean, they may have ran into each other, but there's no record of it out there. Like, they were just hanging out at MotoGP separately.
Separately.
And then Yuki Tsunoda launched his own brand. So his driver number is number 22, and I want to say they look like maple leaves, but they're not. People are gonna probably fight me on that, but they honestly look like maple leaves from the design on Yuki's helmet. They all have like fall looking colors, like orange, red, and yellow. So like how am I supposed to think that those aren't like looking like maple leaves, okay? But
Well, we're calling them maple leaves because
yeah.
that's what
But
apparently they look.
but that was incorporated into Yuki's brand that he launched. And Zhou Guanyu visited Shanghai, and I'm not exactly sure what he did, but he was out there meeting fans, doing promo, stuff like that. He just went back home because that's where he's from. A lot of the drivers have been going home for the 3 week break. George Russell spent some time on a boat and at the beach with his family and his girlfriend, Carmen. We love her. She's so pretty. I'm pretty sure Pierre and Kika were making some content too, taking pictures. Max Verstappen, I guess he was on a beach, I'm guessing, or by the pool, and he was wearing a bucket hat.
Never thought I would see that.
I couldn't tell you. Those pictures feel like a fever dream. I'm like, I never thought that Max Verstappen was a tote bag user and a bucket hat wearer, okay?
You know, as people are calling him, he's a tote bag dad.
He's a cat dad. Like, he has 2 cats named Jimmy and Sassy. Oh, you guys didn't know that. But yeah, he has 2 cats. I'm pretty sure they're 2 bingo cats. They're so cute. But yes, he has 2 cats. And fun fact, one of his cats got lost for like 12 hours and was on the roof of somebody else's like terrace because apparently there was a dog. And the cat was scared. Yeah. And he also one of his cats was locked in, I guess, a closet or something, and he couldn't get the door open. So he took a hammer to the door and just went right through it to get the cat out.
He's a really good cat dad.
Yeah.
Is what I'm hearing. He's a really good cat dad.
He's a very caring cat dad. So Charles and Arthur Leclerc have been having a fun, interesting time. They hitchhiked with some fans because I guess there wasn't any taxis in the area, and they had to get somewhere. And then Charles climbed on the roof of a building to take a picture.
And took a picture with basically the entire restaurant.
Yep.
I've seen that picture multiple times now. He's also really sunburnt, and he looks like his Ferrari fire suit.
Yeah, this man does not know how to apply sunscreen.
You know, I'm honestly with him on that one, because I don't know how to either, so...
Like, I get it. Alright, you're always wearing a fire suit. Most of your skin is never exposed. okay? But like, I'm pretty sure like those jeans, like Monegasque jeans, are like you're able to tan easier. So you're like more sensitive to sun. So like you should know that you need to put sunscreen on. But
He's a special one.
yeah, those are most of the driver updates that I'm aware of.
Carlos was somewhere. I don't know where. I saw him getting off of the boat though.
But as for team principals, Toto Wolff has a fractured elbow due to a biking accident. There was a picture posted of him, his left arm in a blue cast. So that is the second F1 personnel that has been taken out by a bike. him and Lance Stroll.
And that cast is gonna suck.
Yeah, luckily he's still got a couple weeks until. If it's just fractured, that's probably 6 weeks.
Yeah, probably.
And we don't exactly know when it happened, so it could already be like a week and a half, 2 weeks later. We'll keep updated on the driver's shenanigans over the break.
Driver shenanigans.
Yeah. Luckily, it's not insane silly season, because there's not very many seats to move around this year. Like most of the contracts are through to next season, so we most likely won't be seeing a lot of moving around and like what happened last year. Oh my gosh! So there was this picture of Logan Sargent and a couple of his friends, I'm guessing, and they're all basically blonde young men, okay? Probably like early 20s, late teens, like 19, 20, 21, that area, okay? Because Logan's 22, I want to say. Somebody said it was one of the most British looking photos with all of these boys in it. And then there's just like Captain America in it.
Dude, I have the saddest crush on Logan.
Oh, we know. Okay, nobody look at her TikTok history.
No, don't do that.
Oh my gosh, guys! Lando got a haircut.
He looks so good.
Yeah, Ed, I think it looks good. Somebody else said that he looks like he needs to be wearing a puffer jacket. Black puffer jacket.
The sad thing is, if he wore a black puffer jacket, he could pull it off.
He's wore one once. He did a live with one that went like down past his knees.
I've seen a picture of that.
Yeah. And he acted like he was a worm.
Yeah.
Yep. I can't remember. I think that was an Instagram live. I think that's most of what I've seen.
About the AMUS, according to F1, that they're banning the DRS in qualifying.
Right. It's possible that they're going to be taking away DRS for qualifying, meaning they don't get the advantage to go around the cars that are on track as fast. I feel like that's going to change a lot of like strategy wise, because you're probably going to put your teammates together out there and try to get the one in front to give a tow to the one behind. That's probably how it's going to end up. So I think it's going to change up strategy quite a bit if that actually is the case.
Roscoe being in Brad Pitt's movie.
Yeah.
Yes! Okay, so they're Roscoe, Lewis Hamilton's dog. Maybe he actually is just a regular bulldog. Is going to make... Hold on, let me read this. So Lewis Hamilton confirms Roscoe's $250,000 exploits land him a role with Brad Pitt. He's been working all weekend, said Hamilton. I think he was on set this morning filming with Brad for the movie. So he's gonna be in the new F1 movie. That's so great.
That's so cute.
We love Roscoe.
That's cool.
God.
That is amazing.
Please
Like,
someone be like, "Where's your dog at?" Oh, he's filming a movie. No big deal. What?
well, have you
Filming a
seen,
movie?
like, I'm sure Lewis Hamilton's dog Roscoe is probably one of the most famous animals on the planet.
Probably. I mean, he has his own Instagram
Yeah,
that has so many followers.
but that's very exciting. That makes me even more excited for this movie. We get to see Roscoe content. I'm so excited.
I want to watch it so bad.
Like I said, I think it's an Apple TV exclusive.
Is it?
I
don't know.
think. I don't know, that's what I heard. But I'm not exactly sure.
I don't know. I've been hearing a lot of different things.
Because, like, I haven't seen anything outside of, like, when or where it's going to be released. So that's what makes me think that it's... I don't think they have a release date for it. I feel like you'd get a lot more money out of it if it's released in theaters. Because, like, there's a lot of people who don't have Apple TV.
I can tell you, people are going to eat it up.
Yes. So that's very exciting. We get to see Roscoe. It's another 2 weeks without Formula One. But you know what we do have? A NASCAR and IndyCar doubleheader at Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the Indy Road Course. That is one that is on my bucket list. Like, Indianapolis is one of my bucket list tracks anyway. But I want to be there for the road course because a lot of my drivers do better on road courses, and especially that one. But I want to go for the doubleheader weekend because you'll get to see IndyCar and NASCAR, and I've never been to an IndyCar race, and like I love a lot of the IndyCar drivers. And I missed out on meeting Will Power last year because he left early from where I was at. So, Will Power, you have spammed my Instagram with likes twice now, and you still don't follow me. But you dipped whenever I was supposed to meet you at Stocks for Tots, okay? I'm very upset about that. But that is the upcoming events. That's gonna be exciting. I genuinely like the Indy Road Course, partially because I'm a fan of chaos, and the turn 1 is chaos central, and it's one of the tracks that gives opportunity to drivers to shake up the playoffs. Like I said, I'm a fan of chaos. But yeah.
And that's exactly what it's gonna be.
Yes, turn 1 is gonna be insane. Like last year, wasn't that the race that Kyle Larson lost his brakes and took out Ty Dillon, and ripped open the side of the car? I'm pretty sure in turn 1.
That sounds oddly familiar.
Yeah, I think it was.
It's more like
turn 1
it's more like turn what? Because turn 1 just doesn't exist really ever at any racetrack. I feel like turn 1 just never exists. It's just a turn 2.
Yeah, you do not want to be like third or back and going into turn 1. Like, if you were not on that front row, you are not getting through turn 1 on restarts.
Or just the race in general.
Yeah, yeah, it depends on how like spaced out they are. But definitely restarts.
They're not very spaced out this year. Like, they're like right there on the back of each other, pushing.
Yeah,
until somebody
like, all the parts are, or at least the majority of the parts are single source. But I don't exactly know how much you can change the car to make it faster, which I'm sure that has to do with, like, engines. Like, that area. But the field is a lot closer in speed, I would say. The IndyCar course is going to be chaos, so make sure you tune in. And if you want to see an IndyCar race, they are racing on Saturday this time, instead of Sunday. So, and then NASCAR's on Sunday. It's gonna be a very action-packed weekend. Action-packed. All right. Well, there you go, guys. This has been the 7th episode of the Trackside Girls podcast. Peace out.
Deuces. Home dogs. As I go through puberty again with my voice.